Hello, 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 welcome back to another trek through the dungeon, bringing you your weekly crawl vid. What you have here is a character whom you may not have seen before on account of the fact that I started playing him a couple days ago. But this character is Shinegami, as I called him, the death god in Japanese, loosely translated. And to anybody who knows Death Note, yes, that's in fact where I stole the name from. Shinigami is a character who has done very well for himself. It was my first, I think, vamp summoner. Like I didn't even need multiple attempts to get him going. It's the beauty of vampires is unlike wizards, they're very effective and survivable. I've gone ahead and cleared the main game, gotten all 5 of the easy runes, namely the 3 Lair runes, so, Swamp, Shoal, Snake Pit, or Slime Pit. I guess Slime Pit isn't easy, but, I've gotten those 3. I picked up the Silver Rune, and I even went through the Abyss and got the Abyssal Rune, so that's the 5 standards IMO. As you can see from the percent of game completed listing, 27 floors of the dungeon, 5 floors of Elf Mine, Elephant and Halls, Shoals, Vaults, Tomb. Tomb I've actually set foot inside and started poking at the doorway before I realized, fuck, this is dangerous, and backed off. I completed the temple, the lair, slime pit, blade, a hollow blade, Zot, orc, a swamp, hive, crypt, all the standard branches covered. Things that have not been toyed with yet: I have not yet done the hells, I have not entered Pandemonium, and obviously I haven't completed the tomb. So what's left at this point to secure a 15 rune victory, if that's what I go for the extended endgame, will be the 5 Pandemonium runes, the 4 Hell runes, and the 1 Tomb rune. I've done a little bit of experimenting with the extended endgame, and I'm quite confident that I'll be able to beat it at this point, unless, I screw up and get unlucky. In terms of my character's power, resistances are pretty solid at this point. Because I'm a vampire, I will get, 2 levels of resist cold and a level of life protect for free whenever my bloodlessness drops fairly low. Aside from that, I do boast a nice, a reasonable set of items. And I carry the Wormbane occasionally to gain a level of resist fire, or this dagger to gain a level of resist elec plus int plus 3. So, I go back and forth between those two. I'm currently using a Ring of Wizardry as well as int plus 5 ring to bolster my, I should drop this extra Ring of Wizardry, to bolster my casting ability, because if you look at my spell lists, I am only barely able to cast Summon Dragon. I guess barely is a little too extreme, but I'm able to cast Summon Dragon only with some difficulty. And I've got a fair set of spells here. I've gone through the game. You guys have seen how summoners work. This is no different. I've got a good summoner going here. The only difference is that I insisted on getting Summon Dragon up online before I beat the game this time. Summon Dragon, by the way, I didn't find until I literally killed the Royal Jelly with Haunt. I mean, I got through the entire endgame. I got through the Abyssal Rune and the Slimy Rune and a little bit way into the Tomb, all just with Haunt. It is a phenomenal spell. Frankly, it's even better than Summon Horrible Things, IMO. It's just not as effective if you get sick, because, for spam casting, if you get sick, that can be really painful, especially on a flimsy character. But on Undead, where sickness is your immune, yeah, it is pretty awesome. In terms of item build, I'm going for a shield wearer in my character. I'm waiting on a better shield. I accidentally tripped into the slime pit without putting on my resist corrosion, or resist corrosion, and in that small blunder, a lot of these pluses dropped significantly, and I got badly injured. So I'm looking to replace a lot of this equipment with better equipment as the game goes on. My strength is, of course, just at 10, which is fairly low, so my carrying capacity is quite limited. Why am I carrying darts? Yeah. If I wanted to at this point, I could easily pick up the Orb of Zot and just beat the game. But you all have seen me do that. So now, let's do some extended endgame. I'm going to leave Spellcast and Summoning on for training now. Actually, I already have Summon Dragon at Great, but I want that to go higher so that I can take off one of these 2 boosters and put on a different ring instead eventually. In terms of Amulet, Amulet of Clarity is nice and all, but I'm more concerned about losing all of my fancy equips, so I'm going to put on the Amulet of Conservation, unless there's a specific threat that I'm worried about. preparation for going to Pandemonium basically is the next step. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from just entering it right now, I guess. The thing about playing a vampire, for those of you, I'm going to be talking as I do stuff, so you don't have to worry too much about what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get my health back. I think I left some orcs alive in the orcish mine so I can get the blood. Thing about playing a vampire, in the early game and the mid game, they're way more survivable than mummies, and their skill aptitudes are so much higher that you can actually, you know, reasonably get through a quite a large portion of the game without nearly as much, oh my god, I saw something and then I just got killed. You know, there's not nearly as many stupid deaths, and your power goes up quite nicely. The mechanics they have, though, they're not hungerless exactly. Rather, the hungrier they get, the more undead they get. So their resistances go up because they're becoming more undead. Their resistance to cold and their resist to mutations go up because they're more undead. But no matter how much you try to starve them to death, they don't actually die. Actually, I probably should kill that centaur. They don't actually starve. They just get more and more bloodless. Further, the higher their satiation, the faster their health regeneration becomes. Until eventually... Do I have any spell levels? I have 9 spell levels. Hang on, let's get to... Yeah. So what happens is their health regeneration goes up, but as with any effect in this game that raises health regeneration, that makes the hunger go up. So if you drink a lot of blood, you might get back all your health rapidly. If you become bloodless, your health regeneration slows and eventually stops, and no natural means will pick it up again. You can still use health potions and the like, but they also are at half effectiveness. Only the scroll or the wand of healing, I think, does full effect at that point. Oh, I have a wand of healing. Beautiful. Let's make sure that's up and running. So when going into Pandemonium, one of the biggest problems I face as a casting vampire is there's virtually no way to get back blood. The vast majority of enemies do not leave drainable corpses, even if they leave corpses, and all permafood is useless to you. That's in fact why I keep live food lying around in the form of, you know, oh, I know I haven't killed all of the orcs in the orc pits, or stuff like that. How good am I with Wormbane? See, because I'm actually more worried about fire damage than I am about electric damage here. And I resist electricity either way, so it's really just the int boost that helps me. Okay, anyway. Do I have another scroll of recharging with me? I should carry an extra scroll of recharging, just in case. The other nice thing about Pandemonium, and you guys are going to see just how powerful a summoner I am now, thanks to my, my summon dragon spell. But the thing about Pandemonium is that it's very survivable. It's not like the Abyss, where you have constant map rot and can't see anything, and every 3 turns you don't know if you're going to die. Pandemonium, it's just like... It's the difficulty of Lair... The equivalent difficulty of Lair 4, except where Lair 4 you had those spells, now you have much higher spells and, you know... But it's about that equivalent difficulty for each floor, with the exception of having bosses that frequently appear in the form of the Pandemonium Lords. Thing is, once you get it down how to kill them, you can survive in Pandemonium a long time. And with any luck, you'll see that now. So let's go ahead and... I've macroed this... I've set up a macro where I hit this button, and it goes channel mana, summon a dragon. So I can effectively spam cast this until I have a nice swath of dragons around me. And into Pandemonium we go. Now, the way it works in Pandemonium is once you leave a floor, you can never return to it. And maybe in theory you can return to it somehow, but in practice you can never actually return to a floor you leave. So if you leave a floor that has a named unique... Oh, holy crap, I just got an extra scroll of recharging. That's going to increase my survivability immensely. because I can use that on my Wands of Healing, in case that wasn't clear. That's a Balrog. Let's just go ahead and send these guys against him and back off. But yeah, if you skip a floor that had a named unique on it or with a rune, that rune is lost to you forever. So be wary of, you know, entering Pandemonium without the intent to finish. Or at the very least, without the intent to go for a while. But the flip side of that is, being in Pandemonium can increase your ability to win in Pandemonium because of all the good loot you get 2 items at a time. That looked like a summon to me. It was in fact a summon. Let's go ahead and kill that. Okay. So I got smited by a Balrog from range. There was little I could do about it, and that's why I've lost some health. But I'm just going to stand in the open here and channel mana and swarm this area with dragons. And you know, I just try and mentally picture what this must look like to a bystander. This nearly invisible vampire silhouette, because my stealth is off the chart, standing in the middle of just what do you call it? A pack of dragons, I guess. Yeah, going in every direction. I tend to clear floors completely while I'm here because the challenge level isn't high enough that I'm worried about needing to escape rapidly. Unlike the Hells, where there are, you know, random cast effects that you can suffer, in Pandemonium, you just, in Pandemonium, you know, if you find a nice place to hide, you hide and you're fine. You can recover. It's actually easier than the Hells to farm Pandemonium. The biggest threat to my character would be the smoke demons and the Balrogs that can, and I guess the Hellions, the ones that can smite me from range, because the ones that have to get to me or get line of sight usually have to work their way through a pack of dragons. Okay, so far this floor is going pretty well. Dig my way out. Notice that I use dig very liberally. I can't imagine beating Pandemonium with any comfort if I didn't have the ability to dig my way out of a 1x1 corridor and turn it into a 2x2 corridor, or if I didn't have the ability to, like, say that this is the entrance. I don't want to have to go looking for a better portal. Fuck that. I'll just dig my way, make this a good portal so that I can get nice 8 dragons around. By the way, 4 gold dragons is powerful enough to kill a Pandemonium Lord under good conditions. And, you know, who says I'm going to stop at 4? So, yeah, dig is definitely a must-have. Swiftness, plus minus. It's useful, but it's not, like, mandatory. Blink is mandatory. I have yet to find a teleport control ring, despite having cleared out as much of the game as I said I've already done. But I picked up the spell control teleport, so if I'm in a pinch, I can actually, you know, if I really want control teleport, I can activate it. But it's no longer useful as an emergency. I don't need the Amulet of the Gourmand, and I'll waste the summoning scroll because I have no intention of ever using it properly. Notice that I do occasionally just throw out a haunt because of its smite targeting, especially against weaker enemies. I've hotkeyed that to my to what I used to have on Magic Dart, and it's actually much more effective. I mean, it's actually quite effective in that capacity, because the way I would normally use Magic Dart is to see a target on the edge of my vision and know that my range was good enough to hit it. Well, I can do that now. One of the beautiful things about being at this stage of the game when you're and searching through Pandemonium is there is no item that I'm particularly searching for. You know, I'm happy to pick up some good beneficial mutation potions, maybe, you know, any good items are good items no matter what. But it's not like I need something. Okay, that is actually going to be scary because I have like 9 dragons and no non-fire. Never mind, the Quicksilver finished him. Let's go and take a peek, see what he was guarding. Notice right there, I got smited again. That's 10 permanent health lost. Not actually permanent, mind you, but because I'm bloodless, I can't heal naturally, and that's going to be difficult. And here we go. A Pandemonium Lord. Physically intimidating, 2 tiles large, resistance, multi-resistant in general, and also they usually have some really good attack abilities. So what I'm going to do is set him up with some dragons to fight and start digging so that my dragons have better access to him. Oh, too late. He's already dead. Yeah, it's nice being as powerful as this. Notice that he was inside this little tomb area that looks like a spiral. So let's make sure that we explore this whole area to see if there's anything else. Generally, Panlords will drop a single item of loot, is what I've noticed. Though occasionally it's more, and sometimes you get lucky and they're actually guarding a mini vault of sorts with a lot of treasure. At this point, I still haven't found any good runes here, just made sure. Eventually I'm gonna get, like, more runes out of this, so it's all good. And I'm content to just wander for the time being and look for good stuff. Okay, bad situation to be in for sure, because that guy can smite. Here's what I'm gonna do. My dragons are already up and good. I'm gonna dig my way to the left and get out of here. While he's busy with the dragons, break line of sight. Make sure that there's dragons blocking his approach if he's chasing me. Okay, I've hit the edge of the screen by the looks of it, so let's dig our way around. And this is the beauty of dig. I am able to create this tactical option that I would not have otherwise had. It's not that I can't face a Balrog and win, it's that it's much easier to face a Balrog and win when I have a beachhead and not when I've just walked into a floor. Okay, we're back to the main dungeon area. Let's go ahead and make sure to... notice how I used the offensive recall there to put my dragons out in front. Okay, something bad happened. A portal to an otherworldly place is open. That usually means somebody summoned a tentacle, which to me means that there's a very dangerous enemy that my dragons are currently fighting. Most likely a Panlord. Yep, and you can actually see that the fire blasts that are coming as a result of the fight. I'm gonna be channeling mana while standing here, and then, you know, send whatever forces I've produced. There's the Panlord. And I kind of want to stay on the screen to watch him die. Yep, he's dead. Beautiful. And now, of course, any allies he was with will die as well. My mana is almost full. Let's start summoning a few new dragons and then step forward cautiously. Nope, whatever is there is still hellfiring, so it's still not safe for me to walk. Let's keep summoning dragons. Damn it, whatever it is, it's hitting hard as hell. Either that or it's just hitting the... You know what, guys? Follow me. There we go. Now they found their way in. And with a few more gold dragons on the case, I'm sure whatever it is isn't going to last long. So let's start exploring now. Oh, this one was guarding a rune. So the way runes work in Pandemonium is that you've got a few named Pandemonium lords. I believe 4. Yay! Picked up the rune. And after that, you have these randomly generated ones, which you've seen me fight. IMO, other than Surarov, who is like the flame demonic lord, none of them are particularly terrifying to a caster, or sorry, to a summoner, which is nice. Actually, what kind of shield am I using right now? Shield of protection, yeah, that's fine. And how's my skills? I should drop summoning since it just leveled up and put my points in something which I can get a lot of benefit out of easily. So maybe dodging or fighting? No, dodging. Yeah, let's bring up dodging a few points. Anyway, so you've got those 4 named Panlords, each of which has a rune on their floor. You do not need to kill them in order to get that rune. All you need to do is get the rune, but usually they're positioned such that ninja-ing the rune is not the easiest thing to do. And, you know, they have some neat loot on them too, for some of them at least, so if you can kill them, you should. Certainly if your strategy for killing Panlords is mine, which is, summons, there's no reason not to. They're not that hard to kill with summons. Notice how conveniently I'm getting experience, by the way, by doing this. Nice, steady rate of experience gain. Yeah, please ignore the wand and all of its pointless shit. Go ahead and do a summon. And because I can, I'm going to go ahead and burn a charge to bring myself to fuller health. It's the reason I don't generally don't insist on going around at 100% health is twofold. Firstly, as I previously explained, there's the limited capacity for self-healing as a vampire. Second, and more importantly, tormentors can shave your health in half, so having it full doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, the amount of resources you'd have to burn to force it to stay full doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Ooh, cool. And at this point in the game, I usually don't bother conserving Scrolls of Identify, because I know I'm going to eventually have enough. Though at this point I'm actually fairly low, so maybe I should worry about stocking up, I don't know. Okay, you just die. And in case you guys didn't notice, I did. I just picked up a Ring of Teleport Control, which in my mind is one of the most valuable rings in the game, if not actually the most valuable ring. Both in terms of its offensive as well as, well, not offensive, but its defensive potential, as well as obviating the need for haste, because if you're blinking once per turn, the speed with which you can approach or retreat is phenomenal, you know, provided you have the mana for it. So let's see if I can wear it successfully without nerfing my ability to cast dragons horribly. We're gonna drop the Ring of Int +5, I guess, and keep Wizardry. No, we'll drop the Wizardry Ring and see how badly that hits us. Summon Dragons is down to good from great. That's a huge loss. Let's see what happens if I go the other way now. DS. Okay then, that's fine with me. The only reason I have Int anyways for spell power, so because I'm not worried about spell hunger. Okay, notice this message I got right here. A mighty lord of Pandemonium must reside here. That means that this is the floor of one of the named uniques. Which one? Well, you can tell by looking at the floor somehow, but I just usually don't bother since it doesn't matter to me. None of these spells are necessary for me right now. None of these spells seem particularly useful either. I might pick up one, but why bother? None of them supplement my playstyle. Okay, in we go. I'm at near full health, which is good. I don't have any extra magic mappings on hand. How many magic mappings exist in the main dungeon? 3. So I could definitely burn a magic mapping here. Actually, I should probably... Here's what I'll do. If at any point I feel like, crap, I need a better strategy, I'll retreat and use a Scroll of Magic Mapping so that I can plan some controlled teleports. Executioners. I remember when I used to think that those were the strongest enemies in the game. Man, I've grown up. Okay, that's good. Please don't smite me. Good, he didn't manage to smite me. I'm actually really glad that this started the way it did, where I got all of those extra scrolls of recharging, because that has really boosted my confidence in my ability to survive. When you have a wand that is almost out of heal charges, and you're bloodless, and you've taken 20% of your health damage, it's kind of terrifying to see a Tormentor watch 50% more disappear, and, you know, not know what you're gonna do next. Because you're by no means guaranteed an exit anytime soon. It is one strategy people used to use a lot of before version 0.1 destroyed it, is that you can wield and unwield a distortion dagger to force yourself to be knocked to the abyss and then escape the abyss. I have intentionally avoided doing that for my run. I'm gonna drop this because I don't need it. Because I feel like there's a reason they took it out of the game later, and I don't want to make use of it now. So yeah, I'm not holding on to that. Oh, and the reason I'm dropping books so easily is, if you'll look, I have found a phenomenal number of books thus far. Like, notice this is a +7, a +3, +1. These are stacks and stacks, +8. I count over, and here's a +12. I count over 40 books already. I think over 50 books already. So, just holding on to a book so that I have another book doesn't make any goddamn sense. especially since there's no real there's not a spell that I'm eagerly looking for or anything. I usually check whenever I find new books to see, hey, got anything interesting, but especially, oh my god. So this is why teleport control is awesome. I can blink backwards and get myself out of this perilous situation, dig to create a corridor for my summons to attack from, and there we go. I suspect that I'm pretty close to the vault, the place where the rune is. I suspect the rune is over here somewhere, actually. Based on just the structure of this stone wall, that just seems the most likely to me. But I don't know that, and I'm in no particular rush to get there. As long as I, I'm wandering with a good army of dragons and not taking much damage, I'm in no rush. Hell, the more experience I get, the better. Brings up all my skills. Eventually I'm going to want to raise my invocations too, actually. Go ahead and send them in. I suspect that they're doing battle with... Nope, they're still around the outskirts, because there's the metal undiggable walls. This is why Haunt is great. Haunt summons allies that can see invisible. So, can quickly, like, not guaranteed, but, like, there's a 1 in 4 chance for each individual summon that it'll see invisible. And, that usually works out pretty well for killing invisible enemies. Okay, let's work our way there, slowly but steadily. Notice how I'm consistently digging away as I walk. I don't have to do that, but I don't like walking in a 1x1 corridor when there's always the chance of being overwhelmed by a massive army. It's much better to have my army getting the surround. Alright, tell them to wander a little bit. I got a little bit lazy with my digging there, and mercifully there were no enemies to take advantage of it, but now I'm back on it. Yeah, this is a tricky looking vault. Like, this is why I'm so glad I have dig. Otherwise I'd be forced to work my way with minimal vision and only 2 allies facing at me at a time. Oh, just die, you moron. Also, this is kind of where the penalty to experience that you get for playing a summoner stops mattering, because you have so many kills that you're getting constantly. Alright, this is the door. The doors. I have a nice fleet of dragons ready to go. And let's go ahead and turn on swiftness just in case. Open the door. That was anticlimactic to say the least. Let's go ahead and have them wander around inside there, killing everything they can. At least 3 or 4 kills now, that's good. Okay, there's the named Pen Lord Glorx of Locke. I would be scared, except that he's already at half health. So I'll just stand here and continue to cast summons. That's another. That's another, and he's almost dead. That's another, and he's still almost dead. I don't know whether he died or he backed away. Probably he just blinked. I doubt I got so lucky as to kill him already. But let's go ahead and stand in the doorway with all my dragons and just get more mana. I should max out my mana before I advance. So, from time to time when I've talked to, like, different friends about this, they say things like, hey, he's like, you got lucky and you found blah item. The truth of the matter is, at this point, I haven't gotten lucky and found a blah item. I've kept fighting and winning and winning and winning and getting more and more vaults in. Eventually, I was bound to find blah item, whatever blah is. I mean, after having picked up 70 books, it's a miracle that it took me as long as it did to eventually get the Summon Dragon spell, but by no means was it like something that shouldn't have happened. Same with Ring of Teleport Control. It's kind of like, it's gonna happen eventually. It's unlucky to not get a basic item. Now, you can get lucky with an artifact, sure. And somebody who has 5 lucky artifacts, sure, that's just fucking lucky. Also, getting a good item early on, yeah, that's lucky. But if it's just one, that's kind of a basic level of luck to get. Like, I would be pissed off if I didn't get at least that much. And the reason I bring all this up is I've picked up these boots of running. And yeah, is that lucky? No, not really, because I didn't get them until just before the slime pits. But are they helpful? Good God, yes. Okay, I'm not actually seeing the rune. Oh, there it is. Dark Rune of Zot. 2 down from Pandemonium. A few more to go. Let's go ahead and... It looks like Lurks definitely actually did die in that time. So let's go ahead and start wandering again. Items that I'm most keen on collecting are Scrolls of Recharging, Potions of Healing, and other tools to survive long term. You know, without being able to drink blood. Oh, that was not my Executioner. Damn it. I took 10 health damage by being in melee with him. Other things I'm interested in are raising my invocations to, like, so that I get on average 5 mana per cast instead of, like, 3. It's not a huge deal, which is why I'm not, like, prioritizing it. But it is something I want done eventually. I actually want to drop dodging. Whatever. Leave it for now. Let's go ahead and bully that skeleton for a while. Bully him. The other nice thing about Haunt is that it locks enemies in place in a 1x1 hallway really effectively. They're not going to be able to chase you, unlike casting a summon near you, where all that really means is they can't, you know, there's a potential intercept for their bolts. And of course, you know, the army is there. Locking them in place helps a lot for, you know, smite targeting enemies, because in one turn, at the cost of 1 extra turn, you know they're not going to be able to follow you. And sometimes it's just instinct, because I've mapped it to my magic dart button, so where I would normally just want to magic dart an enemy, I do that. Okay, go demon. Good. Note that my resistances are still doing fairly decent, and this is while I'm carrying the Wormbane for the fire resist, so I could definitely use another source of fire resistance. That would be nice. My strength is pretty damn low. It would help to be a little bit stronger, carry a little bit more stuff. But the thing is, all of my equipment is basically unenchanted, with the exception of the boots of running, and I guess the armor of resist elec, because it's my major source of resist electricity. I am not attached to any of these items. I don't use the darkness active ability of the Orcish Cloak. Helmet has no enchant. Gauntlets have no enchant. Shield just gives me a minor plus to my AC, which, let's face it, I don't rely on. I don't think it even gives me guaranteed damage reduction since I'm wearing a robe. So really, anytime I get good armors that has a good strength enchant, there's a very solid chance that I'll be able to get my strength up that way, so I don't think I'm going to even waste my upgrade points on it eventually. Okay, next floor. No named lord, because there was no special message. It's the first thing I check. Yay, more health pots. Let's pick that up and drop it down. I don't carry fog scrolls with me, ever. I like carrying a few scrolls of remove curse, and for some bizarre reason I still carry detect curse. I should really stop doing that. It's a complete waste at this point, since the odds of me running into an item that I'm actually... Sorry. The odds of me picking up an item that I'm cursed by are low, since I generally am identifying new amulets and I don't wear enough new armors or wield enough new weapons. That one smite cost me like 20 health. Ooh, a Chamber of Draining Eyes. That's fun. God damn it, I need to lose weight. Both in and out of game, actually. Yeah, I don't need any of these, so we'll leave that book behind and take a look at this book, and probably leave this book behind too. Yeah, we'll leave this book behind too. Alrighty, Scroll of Blink. Let's go ahead, max some mana. Dragons. Dragons are just frankly, the most powerful summon in the game. I mean, they last as long as Ice Beasts, hell, at higher spell powers even longer. And, okay, I don't have a choice but to explore this area, so I'm just gonna move some dragons there and then repeat a few times to hopefully clear it out. Because once I walk there, I have to accept that the Eyes of Draining are going to drain my mana, and I'm not going to be able to hit them because they're behind fucking glass. Even if I have a method of getting in, it's not like it's going to be worth my time to do. At least they're not silencing me, you know. Okay. Okay, it looks like this area is pretty darn well explored. Let's get out of here. Notice that because I'm able to channel mana, I was able to basically force the issue and make myself get a little bit more mana, which is always nice. Just enough to cast, you know, a 3 to 5 level spell. Okay, I'm not sure where there's left to explore, honestly. Oh, I guess that pile of gold is what they're drawing me to. I already have 10,000 gold. I can buy most anything I need. Go kill a jelly. Okay, that's that. Let's move on to the next area. Dig, channel. In we go. No unique Pandemonium Lord. I'm gonna do an unsummon or two because the bus is difficult to reach underneath all this shit. Or the Eunoxinal. Okay, army of summons prepared. Let's begin searching the floor. What can I drop now? It's always a matter of what to drop, right? Let's drop 4 of the Detect Curse scrolls, actually. That's scary as hell. Thank God I can control my blinks. See, without control blink, I would have been forced to walk backwards 1 or 2 squares, which still probably would have gotten me out with only being hit once. But because I could immediately blink... Ooh, odd colored tiles. Because I could immediately blink, I took 0. This tells me that there's probably a Pandemonium Lord in here. He probably wants me to walk around the long way to reach him. I say dig open, and now back off. Actually, might want to dig a few more holes for my troops. Get out of smite range. There he is. Dig a few more holes for my troops. When I'm standing back, I'm mostly just channeling. Okay, I don't see him. Still don't see him. There's his whip, so he's dead. Okay then. Another Book of Power, not interested. So notice that I've come across at least 10 books in just the short course of time that I've been playing. Books definitely are common enough at this point in the game. More items, more items. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some more dragons up and online. More dragons is never a bad thing if they're my dragons. Go ahead and sick them. Ooh, an unidentified ring. Curse, put it on. +5 strength. This drops my summon dragon to fair, which is unfortunately too low. The +5 strength is very tempting to keep on for a little while though, because of how inconvenient not having the strength is getting. Let's see if I can't manage to... I'm gonna try and manage without control blink for a little while, I guess, just in favor of keeping the strength ring. No, see, that the thing is, I know that that's not correct. I know that's a bad way to play. It's sacrificing convenience for safety, or safety for convenience. And I should really never make that trade, because eventually I'm not going to wear the +5 strength ring. I'm going to find a better ring for that slot, and strength is not as valuable. But it's so easy to make this mistake. Alright, fine, I'm not going to make the mistake. Let's go ahead and put on the correct ring, and just figure out what I'm going to drop instead, so that I don't have to worry about it. But I will carry the ring with me, so I have it in a pinch. You know what I could do is I could wield the +3 int dagger. Nah, that's its own kettle of stupid. Okay. So here we see something which for most characters most of the time is just, you know, a little bit of fanciness, a blood-stained fountain, but for me as a vampire is a godsend. So here's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go ahead and clear the area as usual by mass summons. But once I have my Dragonite army up and running, quaff the Fountain of Blood. And now, try and find a nice out of the way place to hide. And just let it do its work and give me back as much health as it possibly can. It's not that I can't cast spells, because I mostly have Hungerless spellcasting. It's that I don't want to be channeling mana and force myself into thirst again. There we go. Full mana, full health. That to me is almost the equivalent of being able to leave this place for a short break. And, you know, just after that I got smited for a pitiful 10 damage. I say pitiful because, you know, I still have some blood left, so I should be able to recover just by hanging around for a few moments. Okay, time to start summoning dragons again. Full health. Awesome. Book of Fire. Actually, what does Ring of Flames do anyway? Not that one. Actually, can I cast Ring of Flames? No, I can't, so there's no point actually looking at this right now. And also, I have the Book of Fire elsewhere. I'm pretty sure. You know, let's just check. Nope, it's the only one I have. I might actually want to get it out of here for my collection, but it's not worth it right now. Okay, continuing, because again, the reason I say it's not worth it right now isn't just because I'm being lazy, it's because any spell that's in that book I just saw, and none of them strike my fancy. Yeah, Ring of Fire sounds cool, and actually, if eventually I have to go to the fiery version of Hell, that Ring of Fire spell could prove very useful, so let's hang on to it and drop something else instead. Weight-wise, what's the most efficient? See, I have 15 scrolls of teleport. I don't need that many, but I don't want to drop them either. I do need all 20 potions of healing. The more I have those, the better. There's never too many. Being able to, because in a pinch I can quaff 10 of them and get back 50 health. That's how bad the ratio is. Let's drop. Let's drop these enchant weapon scrolls. I like hanging on to them, they make me feel cool, but I'm using artifact weaponry primarily, and I use weaponry mostly for the stat bonuses, not for the actual effect of the weapon. So any benefit I would get from them is not as helpful right now. I also am not exactly saving up for like a tomb, for a gift to get into a treasure trove or something. Potion of invisibility can go. It's important to always have spare dragons around so that I'm not reliant on getting off a cast of Summon Dragon in a combat situation. I can open with this cast of Recall first, you know, to get me a bunch of dragons, and then worry about supplementing their numbers. So many VpWz's on this floor. Go. Kill him. He's an orange demon. Okay, this floor is beginning to approach being completely cleared. Yeah, I really need a nice piece of armor that's going to give me a strength bonus, like, stat. Okay, max that, mana, and okay, another pot of healing. 22, I'm getting a little bit much. Alright, I'm going to drop the Book of Fire. There is a very small chance that it will eventually prove kind of useful. And I don't want to deal with constant burdenation because of it, nor do I want to disable my control teleport ring because of it, so. If I really end up needing it, what I'll do is I'll re-enter Pandemonium and continue searching / exploring through it until I find another copy. Lord knows it's not like I lack for books in this game. Okay, next floor. Or kill another Lord Reciproca. And you. Now next floor. When I first read that somebody had managed to collect 250 floors, named unique on this floor. I don't know which one it is. I don't really care either. All I know is it's gonna die. Shit. I'm gonna quaff a potion of restore abilities to get back the +1 int, because I can at least theoretically justify using it. In practice, I don't need the +1 int, and I could have waited for a more significant stat loss, but whatever. At this point, whatever. Notice that I just dug my way into that area. I didn't actually search all the way around to figure out what the correct approach was. I just went at it. And that's the beauty of dig, is, you know, you don't have to go searching every time. And these undiggable walls are the crawl developers' way of forcing you to play terrain when they want you to. And now I dig myself a little bit of breathing room, so, you know, I can actually prep with an army. Okay, it looks to me like above me is going to be the rune chamber. And so I'm just, like, working my way away from that area first, just to see what else is here. And a bunch of dragons in there. Dodge just leveled again. That's great. Let's go ahead and... I mean, spellcasting and summonings are both appropriate. But I don't want to do summoning. Fighting! What the fuck is my problem? Yeah, let's put fighting on. And trickle invocations with focus on spellcasting until it levels up one more time. The reason I like invocations to be higher is because it speeds up the rate at which I can get dragon summons going. And at this point in the game, there's no real excuse to not pour experience into a skill that I use constantly, but only have at level 8. Okay, I'm in a bad situation because I can't see, and I'm getting flanked. But it's not that bad because they can't see me either, past my fucking horde of dragons. What do you actually call a large group of dragons? Is it like a swarm of dragons? A flock of dragons? Personally, I like using the crow epithet, or whatever, the crow descriptor, and calling them a murder of dragons, because that's kind of what they do. You can't drain those, never mind. Like I said, no drainable corpses for the most part. I have occasionally picked up a drainable corpse, but they are very few and far between. Actually, I'm not entirely sure I have. Okay. This is Minolig, whom I don't know anything about and I'm not terribly scared of, and a Tormentor, whom I am terrified of because he can deal 80 damage or 90 damage in one hit right now by tormenting. Once. So, let's go ahead and start the dragons on their job and prepare to escape as soon as I see the Tormentor again. Until then, though, there's no reason not to, you know, stand by and just supplement my forces with more shit. kill Brainworm, please. I don't think that we have won the fight, but those dragons are coming back to me, which usually means that there's nothing to fight. We, in fact, looks like we did win the fight. If all that's here is an abomination. Just pick up the rune and get out of here. Okay, let's pick up the rune and ass rape a brainworm, and then get out of here. Net health loss was 10. I went from 184 to 169. Again, this issue with detect curse being useless. Do not like going into a 1x1 hallway, so let's dig it so it's a little bit bigger. That was an ice blast directly at me, and it dealt 6 damage. That's painful. And now I got hit by another one, and that dealt more damage. I should probably heal a little bit. I don't have to, but I want you to see how useless healing potions are. 154, 159. I gain back 5 health. That's it. That's how hard it is to heal as a bloodless vampire. It's part of the reason why I carry so many of the things with me. 159 is a respectably large amount of health. I would be content entering Pan with that being my maximum health, so I don't feel the need to urgently recover. The problem with playing vampire is you don't have permafood at all. Like, your permafood, which would be bottled blood, doesn't last. It rots at the speed of a chunk. Don't get smitten by the Balrog. Back up, abjure, focus the Balrog. Now get out of sight. Okay, spellcasting just leveled, so let's drop spellcasting and put it all into just fighting and invocations is fine. Of those two, I want invocations up faster because it's the ability I actually use, and fighting should just always, you know, by the by go up. You'll notice that I'm frequently operating at less than 100% HP anyway, so it's not like having the extra few hit points means I'm going to be more tanky at all times. I can also, you know, use my wand of healing to become more tanky when it counts, so it does help to have a higher max, just not acutely. Oh, yay, another scroll of recharging. I'm in business. That's roughly, let's assume that's 3 recharges of the wand. That's an additional 60 health, give or take. Can definitely work with that. So I may not have been finding as many good strength items as I'd like, read any, but at least I found a good number of healing items and recharge scrolls for the healing item that I already picked up. By the way, that healing wand, that wasn't a lucky find. That was an acquirement. I'm pretty sure I had to do 2 acquirements before I got that one. Or maybe it was it was my first acquirement. But that's because I already found, you know, a wand of teleport. And I didn't just find a wand of teleport like, you know, oh hey, I beat the Lair and look what I found. No. I had to beat some fucking hard dungeon branches before I got that stuff. It's just, if you have a nice, reliable, solid, safe build, you can get through a lot of stuff without difficulty. And without having to burn through all your precious consumables. It's honestly the melee characters I don't know how to handle right now. Okay, next floor. There is yet another named unique on this floor, a mighty lord of Pandemonium, as it were, whom we should be prepared to fight, and before I engage with him, I will definitely take the time to max out my health. Please kill that before it swarms the screen. Notice how my pattern is very similar when I enter an area. First thing I want to do is establish a beachhead and become safe. Once that's done, then I start venturing out and exploring. And entering with 8 dragons is just such a brilliantly safe maneuver. I can't imagine doing this extended endgame with less than the dragon summoning spells. If I was forced to rely on horrible things, my int would be constantly low, extremely low. And I'd find myself wasting restorative items on it just to keep, you know, just to break even. Or worse, I would give up on trying to enter floors with 8 abominations. And then the one time where I actually needed a little bit more force to win the opening fight, you know, that would suck. Also, dragons are just better than abominations. Abominations may be more powerful. They hit like a truck, sure, but dragons provide this mix of elemental damage and physical and irresistible damage that's just so effective, and resistances, mind you, that's just so effective at nuking down just about any enemy type you might be unfortunate enough to encounter. And then, of course, for all else, there's like the Quicksilver Dragon that hits regardless and cannot be resisted, period. Okay, it looks to me like I enter here, and this is the combat chamber. Don't know what this is up here at the top. And this is all steel, so I won't be able to dig it. So let's explore around the long way first to make sure, and then we'll come back for it. Because, you know, Panlord ain't going anywhere. Panlord, by the way, is short for Pandemonium Lord. It's those tall things that we keep saying. I recognize I've used the acronym a lot and not explained it. Okay, let's see. So far, so good. So far, so good. Hang back while recharging. Approach forward while kicking ass. Yeah, it definitely looks like the boss chamber is the southern half of the map. I keep saying boss, but you know what I mean, is just the Panlord's chamber. And the rune will obviously be somewhere there too. I'm wielding the Wormbane. Okay, that's good, that's correct, that's what I wanted to be wielding. Let's go ahead and beat that guy up with some summons. Summons to lock him in place. And then prep the hallway. Not necessary, he died just to the summons. I honestly just meant the summons to lock him in place, but I guess the orange demon wasn't up to the task. Die, bitches. Okay. So far so good. Get a few more dragons. A few more dragons. I don't even know where that guy came from. It looks like he just appeared, but, you know, and I was unfortunate enough to be standing right next to him. But, again, this is why you always walk around with dragons in tow. I only took 7 damage. Just dig. I don't want to deal with your... Okay. Good news. Top half has been explored. We are ready to take on the boss, or that area at any rate. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Definitely want to heal up a little bit. Yeah, fuck it. Healing. Heal. 176 is fine. I don't need the last 10, hopefully. I don't like that my int has been drained as much as it has. But I'm not willing to waste potion of restore abilities while I'm still able to cast dragon it, you know, comfortably. Okay, it looks like there's a fight going on, and I dare not approach because if they can fight from here, why should I bother? Let's just back off and let them kill the Balrog. Deflect missiles and swiftness are on. I'm not going to haste myself because I don't want the mutagenic glow. I can't wear gold dragon armor. It's way too injurious to my casting ability. But I'll check out the axe. A level of resist fire. That's what I already have with the Wormbane. Plus other abilities. So let's see. Let's compare the two. Wormbane gives me resist poison, which I don't need. AC +5, which is always helpful, and resist fire. The axe gives me magic resist, which is also really helpful, and resist fire. But between the two of them, I'm going to go with the AC +5 over the magic resist, I guess. Yeah, probably. At any rate, I don't have to make the decision now, so let's hang on to that and just keep doing my deal. I really want to see what this golden dragon armor is all about, though. It looks good. All these Balrogs, I think, generally travel with a specific Panlord. I'm trying to remember which one. Probably the Cerebov, guy, the fiery one. So yeah, health is lower, and there's literally no point in hoarding health items and then dying. So let's hang back. Obviously, whatever he's fighting is still there. And normally I would just be digging my way in, but that's not an option right now. I'm pretty sure those are summons, so let's unsummon them and get at the summoner. Because I need to work my way into this chamber so I can do this. And now that I'm here, I can create a beachhead and actually fight. Most likely, though, whatever it was that was big bad in this chamber was already fought, and this is the pile of dead stuff that was left behind. That would explain. Nope. There's still a very dangerous enemy here, capable of blasting with hellfire or just fire. Either way, I don't want to find out. Kill him. So many dragons. I used to have this many polar bears. Now I have this many dragons. It's kind of awesome. Okay. Good news. The main chamber has been secured, so either the boss is hiding in a side chamber or the boss is dead. And this is Cerebov for sure, because only Cerebov has this much loot off to the sides. I don't need a ring of magic capacity because I already have several of those lying around. Runed longsword. Make sure that I have more allies at all times. Damn it! I typed too fast and took a step in. Let's go ahead and back off. Actually, unsummon too. Nope. Unsummon is not helping. Are those all real then? Damn, that's a truckload of enemies. I'm gonna back out and hope that my dragons win and just be prepared for them to lose by summoning more. Nope, they win. Okay, this is a sufficiently large number of dragons, and I'm at full mana, so let's open the door. Ooh, loot! Including a dagger of sorts. The dagger being resists cold, negative to int, not worth it seeing as to how I get a natural resist cold from being a vampire, so I'm actually going to leave that one behind. Don't need this, don't need any of these abilities actually, so drop that. New ring. AC plus, int plus, dex minus. It's a marginally useful ring, but I already have an int plus 5 that I don't get to use as often. So let's not be too concerned about hanging on to that. And I'm actually out of ring. I'm almost out of identifies, so let's go ahead and just manually wear this. And yep, it's a ring of teleport. Let's actually hang on to the ring of teleport, because the ring of teleport used in combination with the ring of teleport control can be very powerful. I don't need it now, but you know, maybe I will in the future. Keep the summons up. I'm going into an unknown area. Okay, I just lost 40 health to a Balrog because we saw each other at the same time. So that sucks. Wander, go kill shit, go kill shit. I'm actually curious if Troll Leather Armor lets me regenerate while I'm out of blood. I don't think it does. I'm actually almost 100% sure it does not. But if it does, that's just too valuable to pass up. Nope, it's not. It's not letting me. Kinda knew it wouldn't, but whatever. Okay, anyway. I'm not going to carry around Troll Leather Armor just for the sake of a small health buff. I obviously have enough potions of healing that I can, I can use those. And Wands of Healing and recharging on the Wand of Healing, and yeah. Okay, I'm starting to fear that right there, that's something that Cerebov can do. I think now finally we're facing Cerebov. That's him. I'm getting out of sight. I was not ready to fight him. Definitely gonna heal up a little bit. Maybe not to full, but certainly a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I have a fucking armada ready to go. Hopefully he'll follow me out the door. That would be ideal, because fighting him in a chamber is gonna be preferable to fighting him in a hallway. But if not, I'm obviously content to go after him too. Okay, that's an armada. Let's go ahead and swiftness and self-haste, just so that I can deal with the quite likely scenario of him getting the jump on me. And send in the armada of dragons from the corner. Hide out. Get more summons. Hide out. Okay, did I get hit by that? I did not get hit by that, but I am being chased by fucking vortex of fire. Okay, let's just continue to do what I'm doing. It's the only option I see. More dragons. Hopefully the vortex is down by now. It is. There's a Cerebov, and there's an armada of dragons literally all around him. Feeling more experienced, which means he may have died. Nope, it was his ally who died. But I can get out of the way. And just... oh god, that hurts so much. And now I'm in a bad situation because there's an enemy in front of me. So I need to recall. Blink around him. Blink around him. Close the door. My haste is already worn out by the looks of it. And given my bad luck, there's a good chance that... Yeah, that fire vortex killed the vast majority of my allies. And the guys are still fucking summoning. Oh my god. It's okay though. I'm able to summon bigger armies than they are, and under the right conditions, my army will still win. But let's definitely not, let's not be choosy about using the Wand of Healing here. And let's go ahead and recharge that too, just in case I don't have time to do that later. Oh wow, I got lucky and I got like a full recharge off of one scroll. Of course I had an extra, so it's not like I needed the luck. And wait a minute, I know that sword. It's the Great Serpentine Sword of Flame. That's Cerebov's sword. Well, if I found Cerebov's sword, that means Cerebov must have dropped it and gone to get a drink. Oh, either that or he's dead. Okay, definitely an awesome moment for me. Let's go ahead and drop some shit, because I do want to carry Cerebov's sword out of here, even though I'm never going to use it. And I think I'll drop this, because there aren't a whole lot of enchantments that I specifically want to resist magically. What? You're gonna fight us after Cerebov failed against me? Moron. Splint mail and a twisted hammer. Of these, I can't make any use of the splint mail because it's, again, inhibitive to casting. But the twisted hammer I can probably make good with. Nope, just resist necrotic. Not enough. Not enough to be worth my while. Let's remove it and go for the Wormbane, I guess. I mean, it has a bunch of other abilities, like int +2 is always helpful, but I have an int plus weapon already that gives me int +3, and I don't need any of the other stuff. Another Rune of Zot. So I've got the dark, the fiery, the glowing, the generic demonic. There's one left, that's from a named Panlord, and that's it. Let's continue exploring the loot chambers. Don't need any of these. Leather is nice. Elven leather is really nice. But I don't have any way of removing curse, so I should definitely check for a curse before putting it on. Poison resistance. Nope. Poison resistance I get by default now. Electricity resistance is more useful. Because, you know, if you're completely undead, as in the case of being a vampire without any blood. Yeah. Mostly because I can. I'm going to go ahead and teleport myself out of here. Where are the doorways to the next level? There's one of them. That'll do. I didn't need to use a wand, but the fuck, you know? It's not like I'm doing anything else with it. And I'm not actually sure how that snake got summoned. Maybe it was a polymorph spell that got cast on it. Okay, skilling is going just fine. Into the zone. Oh my god, am I glad that I used that I pre-summoned dragons. This is a very, very bad place for me to be. I'm trapped. I can't get out. I can be smitten by all five of these smoke demons. I'm gonna go ahead and teleport, like, right the fuck now. And I'm even gonna go so far as to remove the teleport control. Unless I can magic map. Yeah, okay, I can magic map. I'll do that first then. Yeah, just anywhere pretty much is better than being there. I'd frankly rather be next to a Pandemonium Lord than be stuck there. God damn, why aren't you guys attacking? Seriously, go. Just go. You're useless. A whole fucking lot of you busy following me when you could be killing shit. Okay, cleared. Dead. Okay, good. Let's drop the fog, because fuck fog. It's not even useful in blocking an orc priest's smite. And now I'm going to use my smite targeted ability to summon Haunts to go ahead and kill him. All told, considering how bad a position I started off in, I've done fairly well. And of course, I'm overweight, again. Drop the Scrolls of Fear. What is that black thing? Oh, it's an artifact Naga barding. That's really helpful. 2 fucking Nagas. God damn it. Okay, what's next? I guess I'm gonna have to drop Zerabov's sword, especially since I'm not carrying it with any intention of ever using it. Ouch. Stumbled onto a Zot trap and got... I don't even know what it... Let's go ahead and heal immediately. That will give me my get me out of the confusion status. And recall. Net loss 10 health. That's okay. I can brook such a loss. That's the problem with being the vampire, though. They chisel at your health like this, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if you had the choice to turn into a mummy at this stage in the game, it would totally be worth it. But getting to this point with a mummy is so much harder, and... I wonder what this could be. Fireball. I should have guessed. I hadn't picked that up yet. Because, you know, at this point I've picked up almost every diamond, or every thing in the game. Model dragon armor. Okay. No special abilities. And I lose my resistance to electricity. But it does bring my AC up to 24. Nope, it destroys my summon dragon ability. It's not worth it. I'll hang on to it though, but it's not worth it right now. Alright, let's keep moving. Heal. In we go. Random Rutian of Pan. Let's go and kill the Tormentor. Notice how I always try to stay out of smite range when against the Tormentor. because they are by far the most dangerous in terms of forcing me to use up resources to get back to a reasonable health. They're not even the only ones that can torment, mind you. There are much more dangerous, dangerous monsters that can summon more often. Or, oh yay, acquirement. Definitely going to get better armor. Or, you know, be gifted ruined plate mail, which I can't possibly hope to wear. That works too. Yeah, -6. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Oh well. But definitely I'm gonna be committing my scrolls to trying to improve my stats and my enchants. And doing that with armor is just the most reasonable option right now, since I have almost no artifact armor. Had a couple nicer pieces, but, you know, a run-in with the slimes kind of cost me that too. There's a lot of tormentors on this floor. Almost as dangerous as the tormentors are the Hellions, and I'm sure you just saw why. Their ability to use Hellfire, which is not resisted by fire resistance at all, and use it with smite targeting, yeah, it can devastate you. I'm not comfortable standing around here at 80 health, or at 70 health, so just come back up to at least 100. And then hold out for maybe a blood fountain or something. Okay, invocations has gone up again, so let's drop it. Fighting, I will continue to train. But what else is good? What else is good? I could go with shields, I guess. I mean, I have less of a penalty, so that'd be nice. Because I am using a shield now, and it would be beneficial to get, you know, that casting penalty lowered as much as possible. I used to have an Elven Buckler of Resist, I think, cold. But then a run-in with the slimes took that from a good Elven Buckler to a -4 Elven Buckler of Resist Cold, which isn't worth it at all. What is that? Or anything here, or... Nope, okay. Fighting went up. Yay! My max health is up to the 190s now. Offensive recall of fucking dragons. Dangerous as all get out. Okay. Heal wounds. Use that right away, because right now you kind of need some health. Okay, it looks like things are finally settling down here a little bit. This floor is mostly covered. Okay, next floor. And notice all these beautiful pieces of permafood lying around here. If I wasn't playing a vampire, you know, food clock would not be a huge issue in terms of long-term survivability. But this channel spam casting is kind of important to my strategy. And also note that this is something a Felid could never begin to do. At least the way I'm doing it would be completely inaccessible. Do I need a new cloak? What cloak am I wearing right now? I'm wearing a Cloak of Dark, and Dwarven is a negative to my casting abilities, so I'm not gonna be exactly gung-ho about going Dwarven. Fuck! I was typing too fast. Let's blink back. Blink back. No torment, thank God. Possibly because it got killed in like 2 turns, but could have tormented me if it had been like, if it had been a player controlled character, would have. Oh, a Panlord, how awesome. Focus that asshole. I'm just gonna get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with the Executioner now. So much for my attack on the Panlord. I'm out of mana completely, so let's fix that. I think the Panlord may have died, actually. Because otherwise I would anticipate it to be, you know, on the offensive. Yeah, it definitely died. Okay. I don't need Scrolls of Amnesia. I'm a Sif-Muna worshipper. He does it for me. Okay. Got hit again. Heal, heal. And wand heal. Oh wait, Scrolls of Identify I like. It was a Scroll of Magic Darks that I didn't want. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Notice that I have like 6 Quicksilver Dragons. That army by itself can kill anything in one turn. Well, not anything. I guess there's a 700 HP boss out there, which it couldn't even with crits. But whatever. Okay. Into the fray. Don't kill that, please. And don't hug me. I'm not your mother. I may be your creator, but that's very different. Go kill shit. This is a great This is a great tactic for when you don't know what's going on and there's a lot of tiny hallways. You don't have a good beachhead. Keep summoning and then keep telling them to wander, and they'll just scour the nearby area for killable, simple creatures that otherwise might have proved troublesome if they swarmed you. Oh, my strength is still low. AC plus 2, Dex minus 3, and plus 2. Let's drop that. And I'm still overburdened. Can drop something else, something else, something else. I don't want to drop any of this stuff. It's all reasonably good. But if I put on the Ring of Strength, then what'll happen is I'll get used to that level of strength, and then I'll get in trouble later on. Let's drop one of the Detect Curses. Should keep at least one. Let's drop Scroll of Teleport. No, why am I carrying Mottled Dragon Armor? Drop that. It's got no special enchants, no cool new resistances. It's too heavy to wear, or too much of an evade penalty to cast dragon, so yeah, drop that shit. Okay, I'm suspicious of that gigantic black box, so I'm gonna dig my way into it, just to make sure it's really empty. It was not. My suspicions were well founded. It's a good thing that I made sure to have a few dragons on hand. Now let's get some more. Again, I you know, if I suspected it was full, maybe I should have had a bigger army ready to go, so that I didn't have to retreat the moment I opened it. I'm fighting a running battle. Go kill these things! Don't stand by me. I'm pretty sure I accidentally cast summon butterflies right there. Which kinda sucks. I'm also suffering stat drain, which is probably why I have low strength, so when eventually I fix that, that's gonna help a lot. Okay. Whoever built this chamber clearly had a hard-on for traps. Let's go ahead and put fly active just so that I avoid at least some of these. Get out of sight of the Balrog. Be sure to keep the chamber flooded with summons. More summons. Hiding. Hiding. Come out. Okay. That was certainly not an empty box. I'll leave it at that. And, yeah. Okay. Do I have restore abilities? Let's go ahead and use that. I have an extra. That's the beauty of being in Pandemonium, is you can use the resources you have because there's a good chance you'll get more of them. It's part of the reason why I favor an Amulet of Conservation, even now. Oh, yay! Level up. Really, I should go with int. I mean, even though strength is my quality of life, int would be good. You know what, let's go with strength, because I do not have enough strength to carry the equipment that I need to keep me safe, and that's limiting. So let's plus the strength, and then we'll see what I get in terms of items, eventually. Eventually I'll get some good items, armor items. Don't need. I can drop the books later if I need to free up weight. Yeah, because ultimately my spell power with dragons, even if it's not maxed, is good enough. And my casting ability with dragons, once I level up spellcasting a little bit more, will be better, and shields will get better too. Actually, I should be doing that constantly. I don't know why I'm neglecting that. Let's put summonings higher, since it's the lower ability, so it will level up faster. I don't need spellcasting in general. I only need it specifically for the summon spell of dragons. Equally useless. I have 8 blink scrolls? Good God. You know what that tells me, actually, that I have 8 blink scrolls, is that I don't need to be wearing a ring of blinking, because I can always just use the scroll in an actual combat situation where it matters. Shields levels, summon dragon is at very good. I am not wearing... Let's see what happens if I put on my dex ring, or my int ring. Still at good, it's no longer at any... It's not poor or anything, so I'll stick with it. Because int 30 is a nice number. Okay, onward. Come on. And you know, if I was just looking for the rune and nothing else, I could easily just take this teleporter right now and just move on to the next area, because, you know, there's no need to stick around. But I am also building up my power. You know, I'm gaining more experience in skills, training, and hoping to find a good item for armor's sake, so I'm not exactly eager to move on. Like, I'm not too eager to move on. I'm obviously happy to move on, I'm not too eager to move on, so it's to my benefit to clear the floor. Plus, if I find a portal out of here, I can drop a lot of my excess items and, you know, lose some permanent weight, or lose some weight before I return. Okay, opened that little nest that was hidden behind secret doors, and got me some loot. At least it almost got me some loot, because I'm at melee range with a hellbeast that I didn't even notice. Let's go ahead and let them finish him off for me. God gift. None of those are bad spells, just I have better now, so I don't need them. Summon Hydra is like a terrible spell at IMO. It does great burst damage and all, but it just doesn't last long enough. The Hydras disappear so fast. It's like shadow creatures for 7 mana. Still searching, still searching. Go kill shit. Actually, what mutations do I have? Dex +3 and +1. Okay, yeah, so potions of mutation are not advisable right now, since I already have a good set. Oh yeah, vampires can be mutated. If you drink enough blood that you become, like, living status, I think you have to be at least at the half point. So, you know, not thirsty, not full. You react to potions of mutation and gain, you know, normally. Whereas if you are below that point, like thirsty or bloodless or anything underneath, you react more like a mummy or a ghoul, where you rot if you attempt to mutate, whether beneficial or not. Okay. What the heck? Let's blow a heal wounds before I go in, just get a little bit more health. Need more space, because I'm going to dig my way into this circle, and most likely I'm going to find a massive amount of enemies in there. So, kind of want to have a big-ass army before I do. Make sure swiftness is on too. I just am reading all the messages before it even shows, and there you go. I was totally right. There's a Panlord in here. Let's go ahead and poke another hole. Actually, let's poke full. There we go. Let's go ahead and try and unsummon a few of them, and then back off and let my dragons do the work. Okay, a Tormentor managed to get out, so gotta blink away from the Tormentor and make sure I'm still making dragons. And now I'm gonna need to open this hallway because it's become constrictive. Don't want to get hit by hellfire from that fiend, so backing the fuck off, but no matter where I go, it's like I need more dragons. The reason I was reluctant to recall was because wherever my dragons were before, they were doing work, and if I pull them back, then that can of worms I opened will flood the stage, which is fine, but you know, it's easier if I don't have to deal with that. Let's see where we are now. Panlord is at half health. Let's finish him. This is the advantage of being able to force back more mana rather than have to losing my train of thought. This is the advantage of being able to forcibly regenerate mana rapidly rather than having to wait for natural mana regen. I regenerate mana fast enough that I can get back to the fight before my enemies have managed to heal. Okay, that's another kill. Jalam Hoji. Because I'm already getting to the weight limit, so I'll lose some of the book weight. Those are all books I didn't want anyway. Actually, next time I go pick up spells, I should probably pick up Vampiric Draining. I don't think it'll actually be a whole lot of use, but at least I'll have a theoretical way of getting back life that doesn't require consumables. Speaking of getting back life, my life has just dipped again, so I should probably take care of that. Because I'm at sub 100. particularly nasty Hellfire bouts can knock this much health down pretty quickly. Okay, it's not quite fully explored yet, but we're getting there. Big ass army of dragons. Oh yeah, the chamber where the boss was in. Kinda forgot to... Oh no, I did poke around in there. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, next floor. And as aforementioned, definitely gonna heal to reasonable health. Ooh, that's a colorful looking wall. Let's rip it apart. Yeah, there we go. Enemies. Everywhere I go, there be dragons here. Okay, we're gonna do our old swarm of dragon standby just to clear this area. Again, Sif Muna is vital, because even if you use a staff of like channeling or whatever, notice how many times I miscast dragon. Here, I'll slow down so you guys can see. A dragon appears ×2, correct. Another dragon appears, great. Another dragon. You miscast summon dragon. You miscast summon dragon. That's 2 miscasts. Miscasts with level 9 effects are really dangerous. You know, you get all the glow, and you get the mutagenic effects, and you get, you know, massive damage in your area stuff. Especially for a spell that I'm spamming this much. Sif Muna protects me from the miscast effects, meaning I can abuse the shit out of this spell as long as I can get it off every now and then. Okay. So far so good. Extra healing potion is always nice. No, pick it up, pick it up. And we'll drop something else. We'll drop the extra ring of wizardry. That's not an extra. Shit. I guess we got books we can drop. Don't want any of these, so drop them all. But yeah, miscast protection is just wonderful. Takes it from you need your spell to be reliable to as long as it's reliable enough that you're comfortable with the frequency you get it off. It becomes your choice, not your requirement. Wait, why can't I use necromutation? Oh, being a vampire. Well, really if all I can use is Haunt and I already have it, that book is... the Necronomicon is useless to me. Oh ye old ones. Alrighty. As per usual, I can't shake the feeling that that gigantic black box in the middle of the map is in fact a demon hole. So, let's explore it. Nope, not a demon hole. Okay. Whoa. Was that loot? Nope, no loot. Get me the fuck out of here. I actually am kind of astonished that they still put, you know, imps here. Yes, technically they're like tier 6 demons or whatever, but they barely qualify as enemies at this point in the game. They're more like obstructions. Get in your way, that's all they're capable of. Okay, so far so good. More shit to kill, it's always nice. Ring bring out the executioner, take down the executioner. Scroll of Acquirement. Now that's a definite plus. As per usual, we're going to go straight for the armors and hope that we get something useful. Steam Dragon armor, I'm pretty sure can actually be worn by me, because yeah, it has no evade penalty. So let's see what this Steam Dragon guy boasts here. Strength plus, int plus, damage plus. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Nothing to complain about there. Higher AC as well. It can recurse itself, which means taking it off is a pain in the ass, but, you know, while we're imagining miracles. The only problem is I'll lose my resistance to electricity, but strength plus int plus is very helpful right now, so I think I'm going to take it and wear it and deal with the curse effect. As far as... oh, I can drop these extra gauntlets. As far as resisting Elec is concerned, I carry this offhand blade, so if ever I need a resist Elec versus an opponent, I will switch to that blade. So technically I'm theoretically covered instead of constantly covered. Alrighty. Go kill that guy. Notice how carving an extra path in the hallway just made that fight so much more effective. Otherwise it would have been 1v1 a couple times in a row versus a Panlord. With that, however, the Panlord is dead. Here's his whip. Yeah, so when I first heard, that, I forget the name, but some guy had done gotten 250 plus runes by killing that many Panlords in an older version of the game, I thought that was the most insane thing I ever heard of. How is it even possible to do? But as I'm hoping you guys are getting the sense, I could be here a long time. Admittedly, 250 is pushing it, especially since I'm the vampire and not a mummy. But if I didn't have to worry about this health regen thing, I could definitely do it. It'd just take a while. Alright, let's go ahead, carve me a path, get some dragons. Oh, little midge wants to die. How cute. New area of Pandemonium. Do not recognize it, and it's not with a named unique. But okay, so Scroll of Acquirement totally paid off, and for anyone keeping score, that's 2 Scrolls of Acquirement that I've come across thus far in my tripping. I have found enough Scrolls of Recharge that I don't know if I've broken even or I'm at a net gain for the game overall. While I have burned through a couple potions here and there, for healing and heal wounds, it's kind of a +2 -2 scenario. And at one point I had like freaking 20 healing potions, so it's not exactly like I lack for them. In fact, let's just go ahead and just for the fun of it go potion of healing. Yeah, there are 9 potions of healing waiting for me in the main dungeon. I could burn through all of these and still have a solid stock. So, not exactly So yeah, so this is a net gain, not a net loss, doing Pandemonium. I'm not burning through precious resources. I'm in fact gaining new precious resources. Or less than precious resources. Ching, ching. Don't need the Wand of Slowing, don't even want to hold on to it. The reason I carry a Wand of Disintegration, pardon me, is actually Force of Habit, that I always want to be able to deal some direct damage when all my mana is gone. It's actually a stupid decision. It encourages me to use a Wand of Healing in a scenario where I would be better served by trying to get mana back so I could retreat, or using a Wand of Teleport. But, you know, I've yet to break that, and it's not like it costs me that much to, it's just 1 item slot and a 10 AUM or so. So I still kind of hang on to that. I definitely don't need 2 Wands of Teleport. 1 is more than enough for most scenarios, but I end up carrying them both around so that I never feel the urge to recharge my teleport wand. And I can preserve all of the recharges for the Wand of Healing. Okay. Again, I definitely suspect that this chamber right here is not as innocent as it looks, but rather has freaking Panlord plus entourage waiting inside. So let's go ahead and make sure I got a nice clutch swath murder of dragons, take the lid off, and then send them in. It's amazing. Even with all those precautions, I was still in range for one hit, which knocked me that far down health-wise. Perfect. These are the exact spells that earlier I deemed I wouldn't be able to take with me. Notice that my casting ability has already moved up to fair just from generic leveling and having more int for Ring of Flames. I think that gives me resist fire, so it's potentially useful in a fire-heavy scenario. Let's see. Am I overweight? I'm not overweight. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, heal, that's right. I took a lot of damage, so let's definitely heal. And do I have a recharge? Let's burn a recharge on the heal wand. Bring it up to 7 charges, it's fine. If there was a Panlord in there, he's dead now. If there wasn't, well, then there wasn't. Go kill his ass. Okay, and up we go. Oh, down we go. Sorry. Next Pandemonium area. Let's go ahead and make sure speed is on. Okay, so new pan area, same pan idea. Where's the secret door that I found? I don't even see it on the screen. Must be on this funny shaped. This looks like a, this looks like a monster den. So what we're gonna do is the usual standby. I don't want to open the door and then get blasted by everything simultaneously. I'd rather make my own fight, as it were. Let you guys, I hope there's something for you guys to fight there, but I guess not. No, you guys don't see anything? Alright, well, everybody back to me. Follow me. There's a false alarm. There we go. Very well guarded. Go kill him. Oh, there's an 8-headed Hydra? I didn't even notice that he was there. Must have been summoned. Yeah, he was definitely summoned. Okay. Dead. Scroll of enchant weapon. And off we go. Continuing to explore. Oh, that was bad. I totally walked into range. Healing, heal wounds. Mixing it up a little and using some potions. Okay. You guys just dogpile him, why don't you? By the way, if I didn't have a Wand of Healing coming in, what I would have done is prioritize that with my, prioritize getting that, and use my, wands, or my scrolls of acquirement on it. And within 1 or 2 casts I would have gotten it, because, frankly, the formula for the scroll of acquirement prioritize giving you either a wand you don't have, which would be that one, or a wand that, oh, by the way, item list. I guess I should do it this way. But yeah, either a wand you don't have, or a good wand, and those are considered good ones. Dig, 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 dig. Ooh! A Dex plus health potion. Or a gain Dex potion. Those are very nice. They give you a mutation that gives you a permanent Dex plus 1. Definitely a good potion to hang on to just because. I can't use it now because I'm nearly bloodless. But when I eventually get out of here, I'll definitely, I'll be sure to drink enough blood that I can use it. Okay. What am I wearing ring-wise? Because I don't think I'm wearing my telecontrol. I am wearing teleport control, but why can't I... Oh, I can. Okay, good. I just must have hit the wrong button. So I was looking for the phrase "see tele" on the side, like when you use the spell, but I guess the ring doesn't necessarily display that message permanently, which is kind of nice, actually. Sustainabilities don't make me laugh. My abilities are plenty sustained. Okay. Another floor of Pan covered. I could, actually, I should probe into this blackness, but I anticipate it will be empty since I already found the hidden Panlord stuff. Yeah, it's empty. Let's get the fuck out of here. Notice how I always make sure I have the full 8 coming with me. Okay, still not a unique area of Pandemonium, but that doesn't mean that it's not a useful area. There could be good loot here. Could be any loot here. Seriously throw a rock at me? What is he, Killer Croc from the Batman the Animated Series? It was a big rock. Oh, you guys gotta be fucking kidding me. It's a Balrog. Notice how I've kind of taken a forget about it attitude towards my, you know, I'm not double checking and triple checking my skills constantly. That's because it gets difficult for me to like not constantly micromanage it, and when I do, I don't actually get any benefit because, well, everything costs so much experience right now that it takes a while. So I'm just kind of not looking at it for a while, and I'll look at it eventually and be like, oh hey, I gained something. And it's just a +2 cloak, it's not anything fancy. It is better than what I have right now technically though, so we'll hang on to it. Okay, let's take a look. Summoning halfway to the next level. It's almost caught up with spellcasting, which is good. Cool. Health is low, so there's the regen. It's part of the reason why I don't care as much about fighting with this character, because ultimately that's not what keeps me from being at max health, or being at high health during a fight. It's useful, certainly, but it's not as useful as it might have been. Okay, next floor. And you can see why, I mean, I've been here longer than I would have been in, say, the Abyss, so you can see why people would almost choose to go to the Abyss rather than sticking around here to get out. Although in terms of survivability, I would rather be here than the Abyss. I feel like this place is easier to survive, assuming, you know, you eventually get heals and stuff. Oh, shit! There's no good scenarios here. I gotta just bail. Get as far away as possible. I was not ready for that fight at all, and I hadn't even made a beachhead on the floor, and there he was. But a few well-placed blinks got me out of it just fine. He's, of course, still alive. I mean, I had no doubt he would be, because, frankly, I didn't have enough dragons to threaten him yet. Okay, something hit me. I don't know what. Probably a smite or worse. Let's get out of here. Feel a bit more experienced. Okay, Panlord is dead. Good. You came from nowhere. I mean, I was standing there 1 second and then he was there the other. Definitely have to burn whatever heal abilities it takes to get back to reasonable health. I really wish I had, you know, some means of... I kind of want to leave Pandemonium now, just to get back to full health again. It's part of the reason why I'm fully exploring every floor, is any floor can potentially contain an exit. And once I exit, I can deposit a bunch of this stuff that I picked up. I can gain that permanent dexterity. You know, a lot of housekeeping stuff that I need to do. Okay. But all in all, the dragons definitely are awesome. They're very powerful, they keep you safe. They have ranged attacks, which, you know, that by itself is actually kind of nice. And new. Okay, that's another floor cleared. And still nothing, so onward. Okay, so far the oh yay, scroll of recharging. How salubrious. It's not actually salubrious, I just Fresh Prince reference for those of you who don't know. Heal and recharge. Recharge. Back to max. Let's go ahead and heal one more time actually. Heal. There we go. Now I'm strong again. The other thing is there's nothing to stop me from healing during a fight for the most part. Which is part of the reason why I don't mind walking around with slightly lower than max. You know, as long as I'm going to survive an initial burst, I can always just recover right after the fight. Okay, I don't know where I lost all of that health, but something bad just happened and I lost a lot of health. Wander, kill shit. Okay. All's well and good. Go ahead and levitate and, you know, fly. Lock that guy down in place. Oh, that's a doorway out. Sweet, okay. That's the new plan. We're gonna finish clearing this floor and then we're gonna leave. Okay, we're gonna try to finish clearing this floor and then we're gonna leave. That's a pit fiend, so, you know, not exactly the most happy to be seeing him. Not the first guy I dream of waking up to in the morning. Though, you know, I don't actually dream of waking up to a guy in the morning. Herp, herp, herp. Go ahead and die. Why don't you just die? This is another reason why digging is nice. I don't have to wait around finding these secret doors. I just bulldoze my way through. There we go. Found him. Now that we found him, it's time to get out of sight and just mass dragons until he's dead. Now he's dead. Get out of the way. So that guy's dead too. Okay. Panlord's dead. Explore for whatever else is left. And then get out of here. Okay, floor is cleared. Technically don't need to actually be wielding dragons on my way out, but out we go. No books, made it out with me. +3 int ring I don't need. All of my scrolls of enchant weapon, which I don't technically need, but like hanging on to. In addition to a scroll of amnesia, which isn't required, can stay here. Drop 10 scrolls of teleportation, because Lord knows I already have 2 wands worth. Drop the excess clothing. Drop your clothing. Drop... I don't even know why I picked that up, but okay. Berserk Rage. Drop the Ring of Teleport, because I have more than enough activatable teleports as it is. Let's actually drop a bunch of rings of Detect and Remove Curse. Remember how I actually ran out while I was in there? This is why I don't care, because there's just so many of them to be had. And I went in with 1 scroll of recharging, and I'm coming out with 1, as well as a wand of healing, which is at, I think it was at 9 charges when I went in, it's at 6 now, so it's technically a decrease. But, you know. I also, major achievement was acquiring this piece of armor, the strength +3 and +3 dam +4 piece of armor. And of course, you know, major achievement was getting all 4 of these runes. I'm missing a rune, but that's why I have to go back in eventually. What else? I guess I can drop this potion of might, 2 potions of speed, all the potions of invisibility, a potion of agility, a potion of brilliance. I mean, I'm not ever going to want to use these, is the thing. I will hang on to a bunch of the potions of magic, because those are very useful in certain situations. Though for the most part, I'm using invocations now to get that back. Okay, that just leaves getting health back, and that's why I'm going to go to the Orcish Mines, because there should still be some uneaten orcs there. Barring which, I know on Dungeon Floor 3 I left some uneaten enemies. Oh, there's the Centaur. I'm going to use him. And now while I'm completely drunk up, I'll use the potion of gain agility or whatever. Let's head back down to D21, and in the meantime, just my health should regenerate mostly by itself. Actually, I'm not sure what fort I need to hit. I think maybe I need to hit 24. Nope, it's 21. Okay, and here we are. Full health, near bloodless, no bottled blood unfortunately, but you know, tomato tomato. Ready to head back into Pandemonium. Oh, that about runs me out of time for now, so I guess we'll have to continue this later, but I hope you guys have seen what I've learned, which is Pandemonium ain't that bad. It's actually very doable if you're already in endgame condition. When you're ready to take on Zot 5, you know, authoritatively, and if you manage to find a level 8 or 9 spell that gets the job done, Pandemonium is really not that bad. Alright, catch y'all later. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.